first of all, I want to say this. Thank you for the staff to be here, and Lieutenant Governor and Secretary Pryor. I wish perhaps maybe the governor had been here, because all of you people have made the attempt to be here to ask questions that really mean a lot to you, and I really would have appreciated him staying here. I'm sorry?
I said that's what happens, rats scurry away.
So my question, and I'm just going to read it because I'm really frustrated, and I know a lot of the people that are advocates for homelessness are more than frustrated. We're in a real crisis here, a real housing crisis and homelessness crisis. So I appreciate the 2030 plan for housing. But in regards to unsheltered homelessness, why isn't the governor declaring a state of emergency regarding homelessness? Charlie Baker just did it.
Because it ain't vaccinations.
Let her speak, please.
We have over 600 people living in places not meant for human habitation. That means they're living in abandoned buildings, they're living in tents in the woods, they're living in doorways, and we're including children, families, individuals with mental problems, with substance use issues. It's disgusting the way that we treat our homeless, and we need to be doing something, but not to mention the elderly. So I wanted to ask the governor, what are you going to tell me to say to them tonight? Because the 2030 plan is terrific for 9 years later, but what about tonight? Where are we going to tell people to go? Because we've got all these people on the street, and the fact that the shelters are full. We've got a line a mile long for people to get into shelter, and we have all 600 people on the street. What are we supposed to do? And we've been begging this governor since May to do something. And I'm sorry, but the 2030 plan is not going to help them tonight.
First of all, thank you very, very much for your input, and I do want to say the Lieutenant Governor and I are here, and we represent the governor, and he is very eager for all the input, so we're really grateful. And I do want to point something out, ma'am. The 2030 plan includes immediate actions and long-term actions, but even going beyond the 2030 plan, right now, in Providence, at the State House, our team, we had to divide and conquer tonight, is testifying in the House for emergency money for housing.
Terrific.
Right now, so one of the things, we are together on the need to create new shelter opportunities and permanent supportive housing for members of the homeless community, and we are right now, led by Governor McKee and Lieutenant Governor, with our staff at the State House, asking the General Assembly to start to free up the federal money that is here, but is not authorized yet for expenditure. Now, the legislature is our partner. We know that they have prioritized housing. That's why we're in front of them, asking them right now in that session to do it. And by the way, the 2030 plan also calls for that right now, for money to get going. So
But
I just
why
want
did
to
it take 6 months? 6 months to get from May to now to get something started, because we've got people on the street now that we
It's
could
a
have
fair
helped them
question.
a long time ago.
I'm trying not to do back and forth tonight because we want to make sure we hear from everyone, but I'll say one more thing, which is that the governor, lieutenant governor, and our administration have been advocating for months to have a down payment where we start putting the federal money out, and we have great partners in the General Assembly, so we know we're making progress. That's why there's testimony tonight. Corey, did you have, I want to thank you, and we can talk more. I got to make sure that everyone gets to get heard. I did want to make this exception because I have to tell you, for our administration, it's a huge priority. It's a huge priority.